Alright, so now with the banner out for the new Arrancars, I haven't made a should you summon video, but people are asking about it. And honestly, I don't think it's worth summoning, but we can talk about the characters regardless after, like, you know, like now that everything's kind of shifted. If you go into the actual banners, you'll see here that we still have 2 individual banners to come out when it comes to the end of the month banner for February, which I still don't necessarily recommend doing more than 5 steps if you're desperate for those characters. Like Ishin's going to be a really good Brave Battle character, and of course Ichigo is going to be one of the more busted up tech units just in general, but that's going to come out on the 24th of March, and this is going to go until the 30th, which means that I would recommend not summoning on this Ichigo's banner until we get the announcement for end of the month for March, because you're gonna actually be able to wait until we have all the information for end of the month banner. Next, going into these actual individual characters, honestly, I don't really see too much use for a lot of these characters outside of like very niche things. Like Tesla, for example, is going to be just straight up farming. Mind Droplet Drop, Mind Link Slot Potion is going to be good for epic raids for the most part, but honestly, since he's also a heart unit, if you have Kaname, you might as well stick to Kaname and use this character as a link. But I don't think that this character is going to be necessarily, I don't want to say he's useless, because I think that new players can make use of him. Like if you're new and you have a ton of orb sources, I'd say toss in 5 steps on this banner if you're missing like all the characters. Because if you end up pulling this character, then you actually have a character that can help you farm coins, which is good for the coin shop. Crystal jewels, which is good just in general, because that means that you can put this character on every single team and your point event farming, and then you'll be able to just mass farm crystals and jewels, and then on top of that, you'll be able to sell those for coins if you need it, or you at least know that you probably won't be running out of crystals or jewels for whatever you end up farming. Then on top of that, he does have Frenzy Berserker 40%, which I think that the Frenzy Berserker 40% is not really all that broken either. He does have a good kit, if I remember correctly, right? Damage slasher enemies plus 60%, but he doesn't have Disabler, so I don't think that that's really all that crazy, you know what I'm saying? Strong attack 1, 2500 length beam, good. 625, 625 vacuum explosion, locks you into place. The only thing that's really wrong with this strong attack is in epic raids, you run the risk of killing yourself pretty much if the enemy ends up dropping like a red puddle on you, right? I mean a purple puddle on you, because then that's a one-shot mechanic. And then the third strong attack is a 975. The fact that the first strong attack and third strong attack hit no matter where you are is good. That's actually really good for epic raids. And then on top of that, he has lacerate, which it's just damage over time. It just in general it's just not bad. And that's pretty much Tesla in a nutshell. For heart, he's pretty good. I personally would run Kaname more, just because like if you're gonna T20 someone, why would it not be Kaname? Is there another heart droplet link slot potion character that I can't really think of one. If you have Sun, I'd rather use the Sun than what's his actually I'd use both of them as links, to be honest. But that's pretty much all they are. They're pretty much links unless you don't have someone that can farm epic raids like that, in which case Tesla's a really good option. Next we have Abi-RAM-a, and Abi-RAM-a, honestly, I feel like they just keep making these characters a lot more cracked. For Abi-RAM-a in particular, like his tech unit has normal attack damage 90%, like he has Bruiser 90%, then he has Flurry, and then he has a bunch of guild quest stuff. This character does not change. Instead of a Spada Killer, now he has Captain Killer. He has a Bruiser of 70% innate built in. He has Flurry, and then he has damage to enemies not afflicted by an ailment plus 100%. Then he has melee damage plus 10%, goes to 30 in guild quest, and then he has an extra killer effect which goes up in guild quest, which, let's be real here, if you're using him in PvE content, this killer effect is probably not going to be active almost ever. But he does have guard break, Flurry, Bruiser 70%, and then melee damage plus 10% in any quest that you bring him in, and it only gets better in guild quest. He also has poise and he has start barrier as well, makes him very good to be running with full stamina damage boost for more oomph, I suppose, into his NAD until he gets hit, which start barriers last for 20 seconds, and 20 seconds is, in my opinion, is a really long time in guild quest, especially for Captain's Week when you're running characters like 1000 Year Blood or Uryu or 6th Anniversary Aizen, which those characters have both Soul Reaper and Captain Killer. So I really do like this Abi-RAM-a quite a lot with full stam. So that's really my overall thoughts on that. Keep in mind that he is a melee character, but in ranged Captain Week, there is no melee resistance, right? So you can bring him in there. He should do relatively well despite not being a range character, to be honest. And then last but not least, Ilfort grants like squad 0 killer. I think that that's just weird, to be honest. I don't think that this is actually all that great at all, but I don't think that he's meant for that. Like you'll see here, he has speed, link style potions +5, and then on top of that he has technique attribute Arrancar damage to status element effect enemies +40%, technique attribute Arrancar strong attack damage +20%, multiple Arrancar characters strong attack damage +10%. If you're able to like start stacking this with more Arrancars, like obviously this is going to be really good. Berserker 40%, debilitator +5. I'm not gonna lie to you, when it comes to this, the only thing that really comes in my head is he's probably gonna have a stage for Senkaimon, which ew. That also being said, there are plenty of tech Arrancar Soul Reaper killers, so like even if you are fighting against squad, even if the enemies are squad 0 and it's like killer effect plus like times 5 or whatever, you're probably better off running a tech Soul Reaper killer if you don't have this character than it would be to, like, in my opinion, summon specifically for this character. It's kind of weird because a lot of these premium pool characters, I wouldn't even, like, even if you're a Mega Whale trying to pull every character in the game, I feel like you shouldn't really summon on this. If anything, if you're a whale, you want to summon on this. Like, are you the potion droplet unit that I was thinking about? No, you're just the droplet link I was thinking about. Okay, I knew that there was a droplet link, but I couldn't put my like my finger on who it was. All right, yeah. So and that's pretty much my overall thoughts when it comes to this banner. I think it's an easy skip for the most part. End of the month, we should be getting the information. It's the 31st. We should be getting it on the 28th, right? And that's why I bring up this banner, the Ichigo banner, because if we get news on the 28th and this leaves on the 30th, that means that you have an entire day to soak on whether or not you even want to, well, I guess you have 2 full days to soak on whether or not you want to summon on this Ichigo banner while knowing what's coming out next. Keep in mind, I do think that K-Lab will start coming out with some crazy ass stuff around the end of the month for April, or end of the month for March. If we don't get, I'm surprised we don't have a 1,000 Year Blood War announcement. We might get a Bankai live stream maybe towards the end of the month of April. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, it looks like we're not getting 1,000 Year Blood War for the end of this month unless K-Lab's trying to like jabait us super hard. That's pretty much going to be the end of the video. I appreciate y'all stopping by. Thank you guys so much. Y'all, you guys have really no idea what y'all mean to me. And yeah, I guess I'll leave it at that. Stay blessed, y'all. Y'all have a great day. See y'all next one. Peace.